Independent presidential candidate Catherine Connolly has defended hiring a former Éirígí member with a criminal conviction, saying she was absolutely perfect for the job. The Galway West TD insisted today that she was not told by gardaí that the woman would not pass security clearance to work in Leinster House in 2018. The Taoiseach has described the decision as indicating a very serious lack of judgment.
Catherine Connolly was at the Dáil today addressing protesters supporting the flotilla, but she was also on the defensive over a hiring decision some years ago. The Journal.ie reported that she tried to employ a former member of Éirígí to work at Leinster House. That individual had been sentenced to 6 years in jail for gun crime by the Special Criminal Court. However, Catherine Connolly said the woman had done her time and had been a model prisoner.
I took a careful time to reflect on this. I discussed this with TDs who were part of a committee that visited Republican prisoners. I believe in rehabilitation. I believe in giving someone a chance in life.
The Taoiseach sharply criticised the candidate's judgment.
I think that latter one is very serious in terms of someone who apparently, from the Journal article, had served 4.5 years in prison for possession of firearms, and also a member of an organisation that did everything to undermine the Irish peace process. That would indicate a very serious lack of judgment.
Fianna Fáil candidate Jim Gavin was in Portlaoise, but he had to explain how his campaign embroiled the head of the Defence Forces in a photo when the Chief of Staff is non-political.
This is a very active campaign, as you can see. There's a lot going on. The team behind me and beside me are posting things all the time, and every day we review and we have to edit things.
I was going to say dreams, but I don't have an S.
Fine Gael's Heather Humphreys was playing games in Meath, but she also had words for a rival.
The men and women of our Defence Forces serve us with distinction, and they are outside of politics, and we all recognise that. They're not political in any way, and I think it's important that we respect that independence.
Tomorrow marks 3 weeks to polling day as the campaign rolls on. Sandra Hurley, RTE News.
Well, let's speak to our political correspondent Micheál Lehane now, who's at Leinster House. Micheál, what has the reaction been there at Leinster House to Catherine Connolly hiring someone with a firearms conviction to work there?
There are sharply contrasting views, Sharon. On the one hand, there are those who believe this illustrates a real lack of judgment on something as sensitive as security at Leinster House, while others believe it is a case of someone getting a second chance after they had made quite clear they wanted to travel in a different direction. I suppose crucially for Catherine Connolly, those parties backing her, Sinn Féin, Labour, the Social Democrats, all say they're satisfied with the explanation, although the Green Party leader Roderick O'Gorman said he had some reservations about hiring a person with this conviction and getting them to work in Leinster House. Alan Kelly on the Labour side had a very clear view, who has taken a different line to Catherine Connolly compared to his party for a long time, said he's absolutely amazed that such a thing could happen, and expressed shock. And of course, shock too from the Taoiseach and the Taoiseach, and talking about a lack of judgment on Catherine Connolly's part. Her rivals in the field also critical of her. Heather Humphreys saying that this woman was a former member of Éirígí and that Éirígí had tried to dismantle the Good Friday Agreement. Catherine Connolly did consult with Eamon O'Keefe before she tried to hire this person, and he said this evening that he had told her there was no risk involved, and he said time has borne that out in the clearest terms. But I suppose presidential elections are peppered by controversies. This is one of them, and we do know that it is these type of controversies that ultimately can be the decisive thing when people who haven't yet made their minds up on how to vote come to make that decision. I think we are in one of those moments now.
Political correspondent Micheál Lehane from Leinster House, thank you.